Have you seen the two men who are living in the castle now?
Yes, nasty men.
You bet.
One of them chased me. Said he would call the police if I don't disappear.
I'm sure he wouldn't do that.
The woman was much nicer.
Which woman?
The pretty one.
I see.
Was here a few weeks ago. She was snooping around and asked me about the summer house and the laboratory. And then she went. She took some blood samples with her.
Strange. Did she tell you her name, or what she planned to do with them?
She needed the blood for research. Angelina said.
Whoa, what?
For research. Maybe she's a vampire hunter too.
What did the woman look like?
Well, like a woman. Pretty.
Like this? Did she look like this?
Yes, that's her. But she had long blonde hair when she was here. I liked her much more like that.
Long blonde hair. And when did you say she was here?
It was before my birthday. About 4 weeks ago.
Long before we coincidentally bumped into each other in Biddeford. What exactly did the woman do when she was here?
Looked at the castle and the summer house. Especially the house.
Do you know what she did there?
Looked for something, and I think she tried to get into the old laboratory. At some point, she gave up and started searching at the tomb in the marshes. I had to go home because it was starting to get dark. When I came back the next day, she walked past me coming from the summer house. She had a bag of blood in her hand and was very happy. And then, she left.
What kind of summer house is that?
It's all ruins. Blew up.
Really?
Yes, long time ago. My father says that old Sir Richard died in the explosion. He had his laboratory in the summer house. He was a scientist. I think he was a vampire.
Really?
Of course. He experimented with blood. Who else does that kind of thing?
Maybe you're right. And they gave up the castle after the explosion?
Maybe. That was 10 years ago. Since I've been coming here, the castle has always been empty.
Listen, Van Helsing, can you do me a favor and keep watch for the car and the other man coming back? I need to have a look around here, and I need a lookout.
Of course. Nothing gets past me.
Excellent. It can't possibly be a coincidence. Angela snoops around the Gordon estate. I discover a connection to this very family in Biddeford. Did Angelina lie to me? The question is, did she have a good reason, or does she work for the Order? I found some answers. A dream habitat for frogs and swamp plants. But that wasn't ever the plan, for sure. The garden continues on there. Tell you what, looks pretty damn wild back there. That could have been a tower at one time. The princess would have been locked in the top, waiting for her knight in shining armor. Who knows what's waiting there now? A water hose, which apparently they used to use to blast the garden. It's had it. There's a huge rip in it about a yard long. There's probably water in it over the winter, and when it froze, it will have bursted. hoses have been real useful to me up till now. Hopefully the same goes for this one. A certainly old, but still functioning water tap. A completely filthy water tap. Well, who'd have thought it? It still works. The house, or what's left of it, is not as old as the other ruins here. This lamp definitely hasn't worked for eons, and for sure is never going to again. This wall is definitely just as old as the tower, and just as shaky. I had to keep away from it. A tree's blocking the way, but I reckon I can climb over the trunk. The bowl is full to the brim with water. The outlet's probably blocked so that the rainwater can't escape. Oh, damn! That could also have gone in my eye. Huh. Is that also some kind of grave? Huh. Nope. Rather more like a water basin. There's about half an inch of duckweed floating on the water. A monument. And there's more behind. Maybe some kind of family plot. Luckily, it seems to have not rained here for a while. That's why the morass is relatively hard and dry. Otherwise, I would have sunk in deeper, and might not have been able to get out on my own. A pulley, somewhat battered and weathered. But it still works. Looks useful. I'll take it with me. The statues are of veiled women, grieving for the dead. In their book it says, three very similar trees, all about as thick as an arm, about 3 or 4 yards tall, and pretty bent over by the wind. The swamp must have expanded in the last few years. I can't imagine that people would have built houses and put a cemetery in the middle of a swamp. Huh. The ground's real soft everywhere here. I think it must be a swamp. I bet as soon as it rains, you can't put one foot in front of the other. This building must be the only one you can still get into. Little Van Helsing reckoned that Angelina had spent a long time messing around the tomb here. And here's the lid, not lying squarely on the sarcophagus. There are some stone chips which have come off the edge. Doesn't look all too old. Angelina had opened the sarcophagus, that much is clear. But why? Could be Poseidon. Well, the statue's got a trident in its hand, at least. The lid is partly fallen in. That would appear to have been a few years back, though. Obviously a wild, romantic place. Only the stinking swamp outside ruins the atmosphere.